What's up, peeps?
What's up?
Welcome, queens and kings. Welcome, queens and kings. How's everybody doing? I know you were bouncing
What's
again.
going on?
I know.
Yes, yes. What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you for joining us here on Their POV with Nick and King. We are your hosts, Nick.
And I am the king.
We are Nikki Johnson and King Harrington. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. How's everybody doing?
Exactly, exactly. Nick, what's going on with you, baby? How was your week? How was your week? What you been up to? What you do this weekend?
My week was absolutely amazing. My weekend, I did nothing. I chilled. I rested. It was self-care. It
Okay.
was do my nails. It was do a facial. It was stay in the bed late. It was get some rest. Like my body
That's
was
what's
like,
up.
word, we get to rest today. So
That's
I
what's up.
enjoyed it. Oh, however, I did watch Coming to America 2, which we're going to be talking about later on in the show. And
Yes.
so I just enjoyed myself chilling. And today I got me some good work this morning, got me some good house cleaning done, and took a Sunday nap. There's nothing like a nap after church on Sundays. What did you do this weekend? How was your week?
Well, I work every Saturday, so that's how Saturday went. Um, did a little. I went grocery shopping this morning. Well, I go grocery shopping through Walmart. I go ahead and do my thing online, and then I just go
Okay.
pick up the groceries.
Go
Yeah,
pick your groceries up. All
yeah.
right. How does
Real
that work
convenient.
out for you?
It's real convenient. I mean, very convenient. Like I said, I go ahead and do my list. Go ahead and sign on to the website. Get all my groceries, everything I need, and stuff. They even let me know if I need stuff, if there's a substitutions and stuff.
Hmm.
So they check back with me, and they send me a time of that it's ready. I go ahead and log in, and then they kind of pick it up. So by the time I get there, I just press on what aisle I'm gonna be in, as far as in that and what color the car. They come out there and they put it in my back seat. And I have some little bags that I have that they put the plastic bags in those bags, so it make it more easier for me to go take
Hmm.
it to the house. But yeah, I've been using it for about, I want to say about 2 months,
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 months now.
I
So
know quite a few people who use it. I don't know if it's a control freak or I'm just picky. I just
mhm.
have a thing with somebody picking out my meats and my vegetables. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? I look for certain things like let me check the expiration. Let me squeeze it. Let me smell it. But it is a good convenient service though. So
It's
yeah.
pretty good as far as what they pick out the meats and stuff. Because I actually bought meats this time. I bought some pork chops and some chicken breasts. So I looked over it and stuff. So they pretty do good. And even when I do my apples or my fruits, they
Hmm.
pretty good. So I hadn't had any problems with them. I looked over it and stuff. So they pretty do good. And even when I do my
I'm so sorry. I know y'all heard that. I didn't mean to click on that. I was just trying to make sure that we are live. I can hear us really good, and I'm hoping you all can too. Please let us know if you can hear us. But everything does look good on this end. So, you guys make sure you share or invite people to watch. If you have not, I don't care if you're watching this in a replay, please share this. We have a great topic tonight, and then we're also going to do a rating review on Coming to America, which I know King is excited about because
hey, that
he
was my
gave me
movie.
rules before I watched it, y'all.
I'm
Go
just
ahead. I'm
saying.
sorry. What you say?
That's okay. I'm just saying there's always guidelines to any movie because me, I was my own film critic. I used to go online and I used to critique movies for people. I go on and give them my whole critique, and they used to love it. I mean, they look forward to me every week. I was living in Augusta, Georgia then, and I would go to the movies every weekend. I'm talking every weekend. I would go to the movies, and whatever new was out or that movie, I critique it, let everybody know how good it was and stuff. So when it comes to some movies, I need to make sure that you definitely take your time to look at it and understand, especially if it's um, you got a part two.
Especially if it's one of his favorites. He's a bit of a control freak too. And the brother gave me guidelines before I watched this movie, y'all. Like I had to like it for him. And he
Really.
knows me. He knows me. He gave me guidelines. He really
Eddie
did.
Murphy. How can you not like his movies? Eddie Murphy. How can you not like his movies? He's Beverly Hills Cop. 48 Hours. I mean, I don't. I just can go on. I mean, it's good movies. Hard
Y'all,
Nights.
y'all don't even want to know. So, alrighty. Have we got any feedback that they cannot hear or see us? I don't see any.
I don't see any yet, so I'm thinking everybody can probably pretty much hear us.
Okay,
Hear something different.
awesome. All righty.
Yeah, so I'm thinking everybody can hear us.
Okay, well, cool. All righty then. So, Queens and Kings, our issue of the day is, here's the question. Can he go upstairs whenever he wants to? Oh, wait a minute. Before we get started, we got to do our shout outs. I would like to shout out my future husband, wherever you are, baby, whoever God has for me. Hi, sweetheart. I am preparing myself for you. Hey, baby.
And you know, as always, I'm gonna shout out my queen, the one and only Miss Chiquita Hamilton.
Amen. Big ups and much respect to you, sis, because you deal with him. No, just kidding.
I ain't got a problem with that. No problem with that, okay? I'm a handful, so I understand.
My God.
I can be.
My God. Told y'all last week I raised him. Alrighty, so our issue of the day is, can he go upstairs whenever he wants to? Y'all, this is going to be a good one today. So I'm going to pass it on over to you, King. Go ahead and hit that.
Alrighty, so my wife has kids that are not mine. When the children's father comes over to see the kids, he comes into the house like he is the king and goes upstairs in the kids' room. Should I allow him to go upstairs? Should I have a talk with my wife?
All right, so y'all heard it. We want to hear your comments. Make sure you guys holler back at us. It's interactive. We want to know what you think. What say you, Queens and Kings? Should he allow him to go upstairs, or should he have a talk with his wife? Whew, it's a lot in that to unpack. So,
There it is.
let's get it cracking.
Ladies first, baby. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you.
Gentlemen in me. Gentlemen in me.
Praise the Lord, because no, it's all righty. It's a lot. Let me do one at a time. The first thing that I see in this situation is, this is something that was happening before the new husband came into the picture, because for the current father of the kids to even think that that's okay and know that that's something he can do means that that was something he's always been able to do. So right off the cuff, I would say that the conversation needs to be had with the wife first. Did we lose you?
Oh, light. I think you lost my light for a minute. We can go ahead.
Hi, things happen. It's live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're good. I can see you now. And so because that was something that was allowed to take place previously, definitely needs to have a conversation with the wife before it escalates. One of the reasons why I feel this has been something that has been allowed is maybe the wife feels if she says something, he's not going to want to be a part of the kid's life. So to keep down confusion, to keep him happy, she has allowed him to do it, or at least hasn't said anything since she's remarried. I'll start off there, and then I'll hit you on some more stuff in a minute. But what was your first thought when you read that?
My first thought was, ain't no way that this brother got any business to think it's okay to go upstairs in my house, in any of the rooms upstairs, in any of the rooms.
Yeah.
Less more his kids' rooms in my house. No, that's not how that works. So that was my first impression. So yeah, that's definitely a conversation to be had about walking around in my house, especially upstairs.
Why is it not okay? Because you said especially upstairs. So why is it not okay?
Because I mean, you don't live there. Okay, so for you to think we have free range, we have a problem. You know, it's one thing when you come over my house, let's be respectful. You know, don't go no further than I let you go. I'm not trying to be mean about that. It's just respecting somebody's house. You know, even though your kids live there. But I mean, there's no problem with you coming, sitting in the living room, or even if the kids' room was downstairs. If we had just the one floor, that's fine. But going upstairs, just like you walk in and say, okay, yeah, how y'all doing? Straight upstairs because the kids are still in the room, I got a problem with that.
So here's my question, because you and I discussed this a little bit yesterday. What is the issue with being able to go upstairs versus if the kids were downstairs? What's the issue?
Because it's just like the part like where I can't see you. Let's be real. I can't see you. I don't know what else you're doing or where you might be roaming to in
Right.
my bedroom or any other room in my
Right.
house upstairs. So that's my dilemma right there. So I
Gotcha.
feel that if you're going to visit, let's be around in the common areas somewhere where I'm within, ear, if I'm ear hustling or whatever, I'm within that, but for you to go all the way upstairs and I can't see you no more in your house, yeah, that's a problem.
So another thing for me was it's the respect, because when he says like he is the king, it seems like brother not even speaking. He
Right.
opened up the door, bypass everything and everybody, and just go straight upstairs. The issue for me with that would be, I'm sure probably all the bedrooms may be upstairs,
Mhm.
which means me and my boo's bedroom is probably up there. And it's just some boundaries that you just don't cross. I like you feel like I can't see what you're doing up there.
Exactly.
If we had a relationship where I could trust you like that, you're more than likely are speaking.
Right.
You're more than likely,
Right.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? Yeah, the kids are here. Go ahead and go upstairs. But just to feel like it's your given right to walk, and I'm saying this, if this were in reverse, if this were the mother and I was married to a man and the mother of his children, that would
Exactly.
me. That's
yeah.
that's all kind of disrespectful. So there should be a level of respect, period, coming from the father of the kids. But you know how some people are and how they feel entitled. That was my woman. These are my kids.
Mhm.
All that needs to be squashed and killed. But I do believe that the conversation needs to be had with her. Do you feel like it should be had with her, or should he address him?
No. Honestly, that's first and foremost. It should be had with her. That's my wife, so I'm gonna be, respectful to her. I understand that's her kids, that's a baby's father, or her ex-husband, however. But yeah, let's have that conversation first. So I'll give you the opportunity to get with him, to go ahead and let him know that this is how this works. You can't just come in here and think it's okay. So yeah, I'll have that conversation with her first.
Yeah. So what? Any other issues you have with the situation?
I mean, to me, just that right there, just that point of, especially like you said, if he comes in and he's just bypassing and saying hello right there, I'm stopping at the door. I mean, you come in my house.
Yeah.
You're not saying hello, how y'all doing, blase, and this is going straight up to no, we're not doing that. So
Yeah.
right there, I got to stop you there. But then, after that pleasantries is done, and then you want to see your kids, you can't go upstairs in my house. I mean, y'all can sit in the living room. If we got a den, we have a den, y'all can sit in there, or you can take them with you, how you want to do it. But going upstairs in their rooms, no. Unless you want me to come up there with you, unless you want me to come up there and stand at the door.
That works too.
I'm
right.
just saying, if that's not a problem, then I can do that too. But
yeah, the situation where somebody feels entitled and comes in your house and says nothing, goes straight up into, I would be right in behind you too.
Exactly.
And not in a stank nasty way, but I'm gonna watch what you're doing in my house.
Right.
Because you coming in with the wrong spirit. Like your whole energy is off. And listen, I don't even want that in my house.
Exactly.
Let alone now you tracking it through the house because you got to go upstairs. You got to go in the kids' room. So, okay, here's a question I have for you. Let's say you were this guy and you have the conversation with the wife. And seemingly she agrees, okay, I'm going to talk to him, baby. But then the next time he comes over, it happens again. What's your next step?
Okay, now it's time for me to address the situation. And I'm going to address him. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm let him know. My man, I respect that you come to see your kids. The first and foremost. So that shows me that you care. But you understand, this is me and my wife's house. You can't just go anywhere you want to in my house, especially upstairs in my house where my bedroom at. You know what I'm saying? My wife, our bedroom. Can't do that. So if you can't abide by that rule, I'm gonna need you to either sit in one of these, my living room or dining room. Don't come by. You just come get your kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be real with that because this is not gonna happen again.
As in, you gonna take the kids outside when he come, like he can come in, or
no, I mean, if you feel that you can't abide by that, because this is the last time I'm gonna say something about it. That's it. This is gonna be the one and final time I'm gonna tell you about not going upstairs in my house, especially not speaking. So the next time you come in, you can't do the pleasantries. You can't. I mean, that's it. That's gonna be pretty much it. So you want to see your kids, take them with you.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to abide by my rules in my house, we got a problem. So I feel if you can't do that, just take your kids with you. You bring them back. We'll do it that way.
Do you think the husband that wrote this doesn't know how to address it, or is afraid to address it? Or is he just trying to do it in the right way? So he's like, well, what do y'all think?
He might not. He's probably a brother that don't like confrontation. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what it is. And he feels that if he could talk to his wife and she can go ahead and let him know, you know what I'm saying, this is how my husband feels, this is how I feel. We need to we need to sort this out. This is a better way that we can do this. We can do this visit. But for him to just come in and just bypass it after she done let him know, and I gotta address it. See, then we got a problem. Because see, I felt that when she did it, that you would understand. It was coming from both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta step into this, which I don't like confrontations anyway. But now I gotta step into this and say, okay, bro, this is how we're gonna have to do it. See, I shouldn't have to do that because your kids stay with me, they stay with us.
Right.
So, for you to come over to my house, that's because I could be that brother, be like, yo, I'm so sorry. You come here, wait outside, they'll go out to you and you take them home with you and stuff. Because I could be that, I'm saying I could be that brother to say you can't come to my house at all.
Is that causing issues? Is that creating an environment that's not healthy for the kids? No, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm asking you. Mm-hmm. As long as nobody says anything, he comes in, does what he wants to do, get the kids, and it's cool. There's no issue that the kids have to deal with. There's no contention. Mm-hmm. But if you say something because say like maybe the wife didn't handle it or didn't handle it right, if you say something to the point where okay, you can't even come inside now, when you got to come pull up and blow, and I'll bring them out. Does that create a negative environment for the kids now?
It can, but see, if you're a real man about what you're doing, you should respect what my wife said to you. You should respect what I said. So we won't have this problem. We won't have the stressful situation if you go about it the right way. And that means respect my house, come in, sit in the living room, sit in the dinner, wherever, and then, spend time with your kids. But if it got to get to that point, I'm sorry.
But I was meaning on your end, King, as the husband of the house. Mm-hmm. Does that create a particular environment for the kids when it's no longer a happy thing when daddy comes over to get us? It's your daddy outside because he's blowing the horn. Now you got to go outside and go meet him. Or is that creating?
It shouldn't, because the way I would handle it, I would actually work them out there. Because see, apparently, I don't want to tell them, your daddy don't know how to listen. He don't know how to abide by rules and stuff. So I shouldn't have to go into the conversation with the kids. So my thing is, if we have to resort to that, it can be either we meet you, so go through that. We meet you somewhere, in midway, or I walk the kids outside, and it shouldn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
You should. If that was me, bottom line, if I was going to a brother's house where my kids were staying, I would abide by any rules my man had about me seeing my kids.
Yeah.
Sitting in the living room, sitting on the back deck, anything. Because don't think I just visited them over there. There's times I know I'm gonna bring them to my house. Mm-hmm. But when I do have a chance to come and I'll go visit them over there, why not respect them? First of all, we need to have a good relationship anyway.
Right.
My kids are with you. So apparently my wife thinks a lot of you and about the marriage that you're doing good by my kids. So I need to respect that whole situation. So me and you need to be cordial if anything else. So the last thing I want to do is come in there and cause some problems, because it can get to a point where you can't see your kids but when somebody meets you halfway or meets you at a neutral place. So my thing is, hey, do be cordial, be respectful, respect your kids. Do right by them that daddy's coming to visit there. This is his house. Especially depending on how old they are. Mm-hmm. They 10 and 12, they understand. That's how it goes. So, just respect the whole situation.
So I have a friend who is in a relationship and they're now living together. Mm-hmm. And the mother has the children by someone else. And that person literally can call and control what go on in the house by phone call. He's always been able to do that, obviously, because it's not something that just started when my friend entered the picture. Exactly. And so they called me one day and asked me, what should I do about it? Because just like I posed the question to you earlier, they didn't want to cause an issue for the kids. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to overspeak, but they didn't want to keep silent because it keeps happening. And it's to the point where if they agree as a couple on something, but that daddy calls, it's like they never even had a conversation. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. So I gave my advice to the friend, and what they told me in response was, it's been going on for so long. I think she's afraid to say something to him because anytime she does, he pulls back from the kids. You know what I'm talking about? Stops picking them up as often, doesn't call as much. And that's a way of control. That's manipulation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Real talk. That's just manipulation. And so I think he was able to do that for so long. Now that my friend is in the picture and they're not having that, it has made an issue in their relationship to the point where he was really trying to decide, do I want to proceed in getting married?
Right.
Because when I talk to her, it causes an argument, and it's made to seem like you're jealous. You can't come in here and mess up the relationship between the kids and their father. You know what I'm saying? It's always deflected like he's the one that's in the wrong. So in that type of situation, how would you handle it? Would you proceed in the relationship? Would you keep trying to work it out? Like, what would you do in that situation?
I mean, being the kind of person I am, I'm definitely going to confront it. We're going to definitely try to come up with some understanding on moving forward with this situation. If we cannot do that, I don't have time for that. I would have to let it go because I see that you letting this man control, and like you said, been controlling this situation. And here I am in your life trying to, make things a little bit better for you and help with the situation, taking on responsibility with you and your kids, and you still letting it happen. I mean, it's just like if we had a situation and we planned a trip, okay, and he calls, and then the whole thing gets turned, off. I'm like, okay, see right there, I got a problem.
Yeah.
Right there, that's the situation for me. So I'm just saying, I mean, with situations like that, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stand there for so long. That's just how it go. I mean, I'm going to try my best to do what I need to do. But if you're not trying to work for the situation to make it better and don't see where you can get through to him, I'm so sorry. Got to go.
So here is where having certain conversations when you are crossing over from getting to know and friendship over into dating. Certain conversations need to be had, especially if in this particular situation there are children that are already here, which means that there are parents to those children. Those type of conversations for real need to be had, because that's where you get what they used to call the baby mama drama from. Right. And it's not just baby mama, those it's baby daddy sometimes too. That is a little bit better. That made it a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm having a problem. Like
that's okay, but that actually just made it better.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Good. If you weren't able to get it on, at least that is a little bit better. Good. But I was going to see if we had any comments. Yeah, you want to have those conversations, because if you don't and you see things and you feel like, well, when we move in together or when we get married, that's going to cut out. No, you need to have those conversations now and see where that existing parent stands on the other parent. Right. You know what I mean? Some people, they can't stay together because they don't work together, but they're good at parenting, and whatever they have in existence, when you come along, it may not change because you're there. Right. And if you can't handle that, don't jump into the moving in and the getting married and the engagement and all that stuff. And that stuff has not been worked out, because you're not going to change it. It's going to be extra stress for you, because they've been doing that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You're not changing that.
This is true.
Go ahead.
I mean, no, I'm just saying this is true because, why, like you said, if we can't nip it in the bud in the beginning before we get to that point, like you said, how it's supposed to change when we do get to that. It doesn't add anything to it. If anything, we should be able to handle it now so we can make it better for us as we get into it. But yeah,
in a perfect world, everybody can co-parent together.
Exactly.
In a perfect world, we can lay all of our differences aside. You can stop being mad because I'm with your ex. You know what I mean? You can stop being mad at your ex because y'all didn't work out, and we can do what's best for the kids. That is one thing I loved about Will and Jada and Will's ex-wife, how they were all able to co-parent with Trey, his oldest son that's not Jada. Yeah, how they were able to. Now, it was some issues in the beginning. but it's stuff that they were willing to work through. Oh, in a perfect world that we would do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You may not be able to sit down at the dinner table together at Thanksgiving, but you can have a cordial conversation for the sake of the kids, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely believe that.
Let me see if we have any comments. And I don't see any. Doesn't mean we don't have any, but I do not see any.
Right.
If you guys want to chime in, definitely go ahead and leave your comments. We really do want to hear what you have to say and what your point of view is. Anything else on that particular topic? That's subject?
That's pretty much, a situation where you hate to have to confront it if it comes to that point, but it is reality. You do have some situations where on both ends, where it's the white, she comes over thinking that, it's all good. These are my kids, and I can come, to your house and visit them. I can go where I want in the house. And then, you got that other woman like, hey, hold up. I'm the queen. This is my castle as well. So if you can't be respectful to me and, understand that you just can't go around my house or go all around my house if you want to, we got a problem. So it's something that definitely needs to be understood, talked about as adults, and sit around and say, hey, this is how this is supposed to work when you come visit to the house. Yeah. Glad I never had that problem now.
That's good. And women, ladies, if we put ourselves in the shoes of the guys, the new man that's in your life, if that was in reverse and some woman felt she had all kind of right and authority to come in and not say anything to you and go straight past you up your stairs into your house, into the kids' room,
that's that visual.
It might be some hair,
just that visual.
weed pulling, who she thinks she is, name calling, all that stuff. So we have to be mindful if you asking your guy to be okay with that. You understand what I'm saying? And for the fellas, it's the same thing. You wouldn't want a man coming in there doing that. So be mindful of your wife when she comes to you and she says, baby, I don't like the way Teresa, whoever her name is she disrespectful? When she calls, she don't say hello. She just want to talk to you. It's just basic respect.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and that makes sense because you have some women, they just to get up under the skin. That's what they do. They call the house. Let me speak to Martin. I mean, he's like, really? I mean, my wife just answered the phone, and you just want to speak. I mean, come on.
But that's it. But Mark got to address it.
But I'm saying, definitely.
Mark,
definitely.
She didn't speak to you.
Yeah,
that needs to be addressed. But if he don't say anything, it's okay.
Yeah, it's like free range, like I said about the house. Charlie come up in my crib and like he might even speak to her. Hey, Charlotte, and go. And I'm gonna go like this. I'm telling you,
right? Or the mother come in and she be like, hey, Rick. And don't say nothing to you.
Exactly.
That's so messy.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, and that's the reality of people, like you said, not controlling the household to the point where it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's a respect thing. Give me that respect that you would expect me to give you if I came to your house to visit, even if it wasn't about your kids. Just to come visit. If I had a relative that stayed there, give me that common courtesy and respect. So you got kids in my house, and I'm taking care of them. Your wife, my wife is taking your, and you come in the house and be like, hey, Charlotte, and I'm watching this brother walk up the stairs, and I'm looking at her like, I mean, you gonna say something? Because I hate to have to go upstairs and say something. My man's coming downstairs with the quickness. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another one. Here's a variation to that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take away children's fathers and children's mothers.
Okay.
What about the mother-in-laws?
Woo, I knew you were gonna throw that up there.
What about? Well, let's talk about it.
I mean,
how many people do y'all know are in relationships where one of the spouses feels totally disrespected by the in-law, and the spouse who the parent belongs to feels so stuck in the middle because that's mama or daddy,
right?
But this is husband or wife. Okay. Like, so what do you do in those situations? I know so many of those.
I've been fortunate and blessed to have a lovely mother-in-law. I love my mother-in-law. I mean, to pieces. I love when she comes over here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my wife hates me asking questions to mom. You got a problem with my mom coming over here? I said, let me tell you something. Your mom come over here every day. It don't bother me, especially because she cooked for me too. So that's an added
Oh,
bonus.
there's the
But I'm saying,
truth.
but no, that's what I'm just saying. But she's just a good person. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I love my mother-in-law, so I don't have that problem.
yeah,
But I do understand people that do. You know what I'm saying? That feel that hey, however way they rub them, and some mother-in-laws are gonna lie, they do overstep their boundaries because of their kids. They feel like I got free reign because it's my kid. I mean, come on, that's the wife, that's the husband. Respect,
right, right.
respect. Give them that respect. But I'm fortunate, I don't have that problem. But I feel for the brothers or the sisters that do have to deal with that situation with the the disrespectful mother-in-law that looks at her like, you were never good enough for him anyway. But I don't have
Ooh,
no choice. I'm just saying I don't have no choice because
no,
he
that is
married
the
you.
truth though.
You know
There
what
are
I'm saying?
some
He married
people like
exactly.
that.
He married you, so I don't have no choice. But and the same thing on the other end. I don't know why. So I hate it for them, but I'm one of them brothers that didn't have to deal with that. So, yeah. So
I'm just looking at a couple of the reactions
mm-hmm.
that we're getting. So, all right, in that situation, when the mother-in-law is just she a whole lot to deal with because she just does not like the mother-in-law or even the new son. I mean, the daughter or the new son.
Right.
Whose responsibility is it to try to fix that relationship? Is it the responsibility of the new spouse coming in to try to make a relationship with the parent? Is it the responsibility of the child of that parent to sit the parent down and have a talk with them about being respectful? Who's or is it the parent's responsibility? If you just don't like them, you ain't got to say it and show it. Whose responsibility is it in that situation?
To me, if it was my mother that had a problem with my wife, I am the person to say something to my mother.
Okay.
So you're like, look, Mom, for whatever feelings you have, understand it's my wife. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going to understand how you taught me and raised me about, Christianity and understanding the Bible and the Word, first of all, she's going to come before you, Ma. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get to a point where I shun you because of how you treat my wife. So it should be vice versa. The same thing with with the husband.
Right.
So it's like, hey, that's just how it goes. So, Ma, you want that mother, you want your mother to respect your wife. You know what I'm saying? You want your father. I mean, it's just like with father-in-laws. You know what I'm saying? You want them, and I had a good father-in-law, God bless his soul, that, that loved me like I loved him.
Right.
Respecting me. So I've been fortunate. But, there's some that, feel that, hey, I don't feel you was good enough for my daughter. So it's those situations that you can run into. But I feel that's the kid's fault. I mean, excuse me, the kid's angle. Or I mean, the child
Right.
or the parent to be able to confront the situation and handle it. To be able to say something to his parent about if he's not, she's not or he's not treating his spouse right or her spouse.
Right.
Yeah,
and if in that situation, if there's misuse, abuse, or anything like that, and those are, as your child married to somebody, I don't believe in not saying anything because you don't want that to end tragically. And you would have never said anything, but you just don't like the person because they're taking your baby away, or she doesn't cook like you, or he doesn't have as much money to give your daughter the way you would have done it. That's the issue in you. Don't put that in their house. But in those situations, I really think that's the spouse who those parents belong to sit you down and be like, this is not allowed. I know a couple of friends of mine who have had to tell their mother, this is my wife's house. You're not going to come in here and control everything. She doesn't clean the way you do. She doesn't raise the children the way that you do. And you have to respect that, or you can't come over. And he didn't say it in a way like he doesn't love his mother. It's like, I love you, but I'm married. I love my wife. You have a life. I got to live mine. And the issues were slowly but surely able to be mended, but being too afraid to say something is when the stuff keeps compounding and building up, and it gets to a point where you not only are in the middle. I've seen people actually cause the issues, right? Yeah. It started off, it was just between the parent and the spouse, but you kind of like being in the middle so much, so you don't really have to say anything. You cause some of that drama. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, I think that's one of those things that needs to be nipped in the bud ASAP. Put on your big girl panties, put on your big boy underwear, and handle that. Don't cause your spouse to be uncomfortable like that.
Right. Definitely. Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, that's all you have on that one.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, that takes the care. I mean, just like you said, taking responsibility, taking ownership of how you should handle that relationship with your parents and your spouse. You know,
Yeah.
that's your home, and when they come to visit, respect. My wife, respect my husband.
Yes.
Because that's the last thing I want to do is tell my mom she can't come no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would just oh my God, that would just kill me. But understanding that my wife comes first, we become as one, and I forsake all others. I would hate to, but mom, if you can't respect my wife, I can't. I can't sit
Right.
here and let you just talk to her any kind of way. I can't let you just do what you want in my house. I can't.
Yeah.
If you can't respect that, then you're not telling me you live in the way that you taught me how to live.
Oh,
I'm just saying, but I don't have that problem.
I don't know. It tends to work when you remind the parents of some stuff that they said.
Yes, especially that they taught you. They taught you how to be and how to act. So that would be the thing I throw with my mom and pop if that was the case. But I don't have that problem with either one of them. Both of them raised me in church. Both of them have those same values of respect and about their husband and wife. That taking to understand that they become first. Your wife or that's what you do.
Yes.
Oh, so I've learned that.
And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking off to the side. I got to control the main screen on my other computer. That's a good one there. Reminding them of how they taught you, and even asking them how would you feel if this were you and daddy, or daddy, you and mama. And parents, if that is you, and you're just feeling some kind of way because your baby
exactly
got somebody else I'm gonna need you to get you some counseling. And I'm gonna need you to get you a good life and let them have their life. If it's nothing that's dangerous or detrimental to anybody's life or health, it's just you and your issues because you scared to be by yourself because your baby's gone. We need you to let them have a life, please.
Take it to the altar. Tell them to take it to the altar.
Take it
to the altar and leave it there. Take it to the altar and leave it there.
Like the older people say, go tarry for a long time.
Exactly. Just take it to the altar and leave it there. That's all.
Man, we gonna my God.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it can take your breath.
Wow. So do you have any comments coming through on your end? Has anybody
I haven't seen anything on mine. I don't know if let's see. So it just says
we don't want to miss your comments. Make sure you all share it. If you're watching this in the replay, still leave your comments because we come back and read those throughout the week. We really want to hear your opinion on that. And I'm sure the person that wrote that wants to hear it too. All righty. So
is it that time?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just thought, is it that time yet? That's all.
I know you're excited. I know you're waiting on it. But before we jump in, and I wanted to ask you, was there anything else you want to say on that subject?
No, like I said, I've been blessed to have parents that respect my wife, both of them. Even though they live in two different places. My dad lives here in North Carolina. My mom lives in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, every chance I get, if I can get her up here to visit now, since we got a house, even when she came when we had the other place. So, to get up, with the pandemic, it's a little harder. Stuff, but, I love for my mom to come visit and stuff. So I'm looking forward to when she does have the opportunity to come up here. So, but yeah, I don't have any problem with that part of our relationship.
All righty then. Well, without further ado, so we can talk about your boy. It is that time. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, your tea, grab you some coffee.
Yeah, give me a minute so I can get this.
I got you. I got you.
Okay, hold on.
So today we're going to be rating and reviewing one of King's favorite actors, and that is Mr. Eddie Murphy in Coming to America 2. Okay, disclaimer, while we're grabbing our popcorn and stuff, if you have not seen it and you don't want to hear this feedback, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about the movie, so you're going to want to come back and watch this afterward. But we're going to go ahead and get it started. So let me get this off the screen for a second. We good?
We good.
All righty.
Show off my little phone. Can I show my little phone?
I got mine.
See.
You really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Really. All righty. So we have our popcorn. We are ready to go. Since this is your your boy, give us your review. Coming to
Okay.
America 2. Would you, first of all, would you see this movie again? Yes or no?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So tell us your thoughts about the movie. I would watch it again, but I'm okay if I don't run out and do it ASAP. But go ahead.
Okay, y'all. Hey, everybody know Eddie Murphy from stand up. And that's where he started from. Raw,
Not
Delirious.
everybody. You got some young
Oh, I'm
people.
sorry. I'm sorry. Well, for all you youngsters that don't know anything about Eddie Murphy in his heydays when he was doing stand up,
Back in them tight leather,
yes,
sweating with his curl.
check out the Delirious and Raw, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And then he started making.
If you're too young, don't check it out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't expect your 8-year-old, 7-year-old to be watching Delirious or Raw. No, ma'am. But anything, 15, 16 years old, you pretty much can go ahead and check it out. And any of the movies they did, Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3. And then there's 48 Hours, another 48 Hours. And definitely one of my
We know you love Eddie. You gonna run down all his movies.
No, I'm just gonna give you my definitely my trading places. If nothing else, my trading places was that movie. But getting back to this Coming to America 2, it's been a long time waiting. You know, for everybody to understand, it's been 33 years.
33.
Since the first one. And to me, he didn't disappoint. You know what I'm saying? When I watched it, you know, to see all the characters, you know, from the old one, pretty much everybody except one that I can remember, which besides Mary Sinclair, who played the King's wife.
The King's wife.
But then
rest in peace.
Right. Definitely Mary Sinclair. Excellent.
For y'all who don't know, she passed away in 95.
Right. So she's a beautiful actress.
Cancer. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful actress. You know, the Queen's the girl that became the Queen, you know, her sister didn't play in this one. So I was surprised. I don't know, Nick, we was talking about if you're going to check that out and see what might have happened to her, why she didn't play in this.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to look that up yet, but
okay.
That is something we did take notice of. She wasn't there.
Right.
I thought when we didn't see her initially in Zamunda, that when they went back to
Queens,
New York, I wasn't gonna mess it up. You got on me already about that. Thank you. When they went back to New York, that we would see her there, and she wasn't. Right. So exactly. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's still living or if they just felt it wasn't an important character to bring back. I don't know.
Exactly. So I was surprised too. But it was just to watch how he just infused the first Coming to America to this one and add a little extra here and there was so funny. You know, for anybody that's already seen it, I think one of my favorite parts was the twins at the end. The twins,
they are still offbeat.
Yes, and they still stay and using the same lyrics. My name is Peaches, and so that was.
I did do the WAP though when they was rapping.
You know, and then Sexual Chocolate.
Sexual Chocolate.
Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate. And for anybody that understands, that was the original band from back then. That was the same band, you know.
They were trying so hard not to laugh. Did you see that? They were trying so hard not to laugh. I think Eddie may have been doing some ad-libbing or something.
Right.
Because they were playing them instruments, singing, trying so hard not to laugh.
I mean, for you to see that band, you know, back then, everybody that can remember, you know, when they came out there, some other, you know, said, you know, my grand, you know, give it up for my band, Sexual Chocolate. They play so fire, don't you agree?
And his curl was just as juicy as ever.
Exactly.
That curl was juicy.
And then
okay.
So
I gotta ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that tripped me out was the people at the barbershop were still alive. They were old then. Some of them were we old.
This is true.
This is 33 years later.
Yeah, 33 years later. So only thing I can say is like, you know, they was like in their 50s and just kind of looked old. Now in their 80s, I'm just giving it a little something, but
right.
I'm just giving it a little something, just giving it a little something because they did make them look quite old. You know what I'm saying? Especially the old white guy that was playing chess with the other barber.
Mm-hmm.
So they did make them look quite, but like you said, if you had a reality kick, them guys must have been around 60 back then.
Listen.
Around, at least around 60 back then. So to see them now only look like they're about 20 years older than the movie looked. Yeah, but he just still did a good job. He just still wanted you to bring them characters up to like, okay, we know it's 33 years and they probably wouldn't be around, but just to add those few years to make them look that much older, that you can still bring them in there. So, I mean, I know everybody thought about how them guys looking as old they look.
Especially the older Jewish white man.
Yeah, especially him.
He was old.
He was old back then, yeah.
Back in '88.
Yeah, he was. So, I mean, but he still had to bring them in just to feel that.
I know we're gonna give.
Yeah.
I know that's your boy.
Gotcha.
I understand.
I mean,
but if this was another movie and it wasn't an Eddie Murphy movie, you'd have been like, Nick.
It
should have been in their hundreds.
But that was a definitely pivotal part of the whole movie.
It was.
Yeah. So I mean, for you not to show that in the Coming to America 2 would have been like, okay, really? Y'all not going? I mean, I understand they're too old, but you got to do something with them guys because them guys they made the show for the first part of the movie. Back then, they made that movie. Hey, boys from Africa. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, you got to get to the America. You got to get to the father. You know what I'm saying? People got a misconception of that. You get in with the father, you're home free, like a boy.
Moving on.
Those kind of things that you think about.
Arsenio Hall's character, Simi.
Yeah.
I don't know if they caught this, but his accent was barely present. There were times when Eddie was, not Eddie, I'm sorry, Arsenio was talking regular. Every now and again, it may have an accent on it. Then I was like, nobody paid attention to that.
Oh yeah, you had to, because it was nothing like when he first.
Not at all, and it's not like they were just visiting America so much.
Right.
You the right hand man to the prince in Zuma.
Yeah.
I was like, where is that?
It was bad. It was bad. I was
like,
yo, really, dog? I said, you don't sound nothing. I said, Simi, you ain't nothing like that accent you had when you was in America.
Nothing.
So
nothing.
It was some problems. It was, you can see some shortcomings, but overall, just to see it done. Because I mean, you wanted to see if it was going to ever be a sequel to, to Coming to America. Because you had to think of something. Something got to bring that back. We got to see a part 2. We ain't got to never see another one, but we had to see a part 2 because they were also young men.
I will say this. Big ups and shout out to all of them for being able to do it again.
Exactly.
It was an Eddie Murphy production.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up having to do it much differently than they originally intended because of COVID.
Right.
It was beautiful. The scenery was gorgeous. Anytime our people are represented in the royalty, I love it.
Yes.
The opulence of it and the colors and the costumes and the regalness, I will forever love those things, period. I'm gonna say, and I know you don't want to hear anything negative, but my POV, it gave me some Wakanda vibes. It was a little bit Wakandish in a couple of things.
You think so? I mean, Wakanda was on the whole.
Okay, I'm about to tell you. The beginning, when he was having that, I guess that when he was teaching, the fight scene he was having with his daughters, you could tell that's how he trained with them.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt really Wakandish. It reminded me of the warrior women from Wakanda. I'm just gonna be honest.
For the daughters, okay, I give you that.
His son, when they went and got his son from America and took him back to Africa, reminded me of Killmonger. The hair, after she did the hair with that was real Killmonger.
Okay. I'll give you a little bit of that.
The entrance of I forgot Wesley's character's name.
He was a general.
I thought it was a general something. I didn't get to.
General Abib or General Aziz.
General something.
Yeah.
The way came in with Michael Blackston, introing him and stuff. That felt like Winston's character from Wakanda when they came in wanting to challenge King to I can't even talk to Chop.
Go ahead, please.
I cannot even talk.
Take
when they wanted to challenge the king in that fight, just some of those things did remind me of Wakanda. I'm not mad at it. It just gave me
the vibes.
It's a little Black Pantherish, huh?
Well, see, because like you said, being that Zamunda was that place that we had never heard of, that was all by itself, was totally black. So I can understand now. This is 2021. So saying Wakanda just came out 2008. 18, 17.
Mhm.
So I can see where, okay, that was that next level of that type of kingdom and environment. So I can see a few of those things could have came in there. You know, like with the fighting with his girls.
You gonna fight
No,
with that in there.
with the fighting with his girls, because I remember him and Simi. So he was already trained because him and Simi used to train. Remember in the first one?
No, but what I'm saying is when he was having that fight scene with his daughters,
That's what I'm saying.
It reminded me of the warrior women from Black Panther.
Right,
it was real. I'm sorry, it was Wakandish to me. I know
so
you don't see that, but it was Wakandish to me.
I don't see it because he was already doing it back then. So his thing was he had daughters, so he was training his daughters to fight like him and Simi used to fight. So I understand your point of view because of the warrior women, but because he was already doing it, he had his daughters, so he was going to train his daughters the same way he used to fight. So that's the only part there. But overall, like I said, I could see some things that might have came from, but hey, they were first. Zamunda was that first country that was out of nowhere.
We are not debating.
I know.
I understand. We're not debating. We're sharing our POVs.
I got you. But yeah, I understand.
It was Wakandish to me.
No
Ain't
doubt.
taking nothing away from your boy because I know
it's cool. It's cool. But I mean, overall, y'all, you got to see it. If you enjoyed that first one back in '88, you definitely want to see the growth and what how things transpired in Coming to America too. I mean, you just got to see. It's one of those things that you just got to see. Just almost like The Best Man. How would you go watch The Best Man and then they had a best man? How would you? Ain't no way you could not watch that. So it's the same thing. With Coming to America, there's no way you could not watch Coming. If you don't never watch it again, you had to watch it at least once, just to know that the Coming to America first one was all that. If somebody would say that was garbage, I had to fight him. I had to fight the first
one. Nikki is gonna say it was entertaining. There were some parts that I liked and some parts that they were okay. If you miss it, it's okay, but I encourage you to watch it for the fact that we do want to support when we do something. It is a positive movie. Mm-hmm. There's some funny parts. It's some parts. Okay.
Go ahead, please express.
Oh, I will. I will. It's some parts in there that let me just say this: just watch it for entertainment purposes.
Well, that's what it's for.
Just watch it for entertainment purposes.
That's definitely what it is.
One of the guidelines that King gave me before I watched it was what I had to do, what I had to like, and why it's just so important to watch it. That wasn't my experience. It was good entertainment. And there was some parts where, could have been a tad bit different, but it was good. I do like some of the messages that were in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I love how his son learned to find what he needed versus what everybody wanted him to have and what people nowadays would probably go more for, which would be the outer.
Right.
That young lady, the barber that he fell in love with, he fell in love with her and her mind and the way she encouraged him and the way she really talked him through that little journey and she believed in him. But not just that, he loved the fact that she had her own dreams, that she was already doing something, that she wanted to do other things. He had the opportunity to be with the general's daughter who was real beautiful and fine and willing to do everything that he wanted her to do, but that's not what he wanted. Beautiful and fine as she was, he wanted that built him up and that made him feel good, and that woman that was smart and had her own thing going. So I do love that part because I didn't know where they were going to go with that for a second till I realized it was just a play on the Vanessa Bell's part.
But then too the same way.
So wrong about that part in the movie.
When they brought her back, still doing it.
Still doing
that part. Okay, but season two,
busted and still doing it. But I like the way he released her at the end. She was able to,
But then too, like I said, I liked it because it took the chapter straight out of his dad, because that's what the same thing that that he went, that King did. Saying I wanted to find his own bride that thought for herself, that intellectually, and when he went over there. He went to Queens.
Yeah.
To find his queen.
Yeah.
and same concept. So I liked how they brought that in there and showed that, like father, like son.
Exactly. It was some great messages. Let's hit on the cameos. Which cameo surprised you the most?
Cameo. It had to be the twins in Sex and Chocolate. It had them two right there, because when they brought Randy back up, because they said, "Oh man, nah, what they got them?" So they had everybody.
Till he came out
when they talked it up, and they said it was Randy Watson, I was like, "Oh man!" So that really just got to see that the band Sex and Chocolate, he really reached back, and then to see the twins. So that right there, for everybody that watched, remember them sitting in the in the bar seats somehow. When they when they were sitting, I'm talking when they were in the chair. I'm talking when they were still, when they were still in their chairs, when they actually met them for the first time, and they did their little rap and stuff.
Yeah,
to see them get out there. Yeah, exactly. To see them get out there, so
but they were still off. It was like 33 years later, hit play. They were still off.
Yeah, definitely. And it just, they basically, you could see the same look, and they had the whole same tops. If you look at it, it was the same top.
The same look on the face. The other one was still off. Like, it was almost like they watched it to redo it. That part was
hilarious. That right there was hilarious.
One of my favorites, and it wasn't a cameo. She was actually one of the main characters. Was Leslie. I'm sorry, Leslie Jones.
Jones. Okay.
The ad lib, the commentary, her actual lines,
yes,
and some stuff that I can really see even myself saying, especially when she rolled up in the castle.
Yeah.
But when he went to their apartment and she realized who he was, I won't repeat some of that, but that was hilarious to me. But when they were like, when she got ready to leave, what you gonna do with your stuff? You can have it. You can have it. Yeah. My favorite line of hers is when she got up in there, she was hugging the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, give me a hug. I know I slept with your man.
Yo, she definitely did it.
That was my favorite.
She brought like, you gotta get that queen, that Brooklyn, New York sister that, like you said, gets thrown from living like this to living like this.
I'm not even from New York, but
that's New Yorker.
It was so real. It was so real. The writing in that area was real good. Or unless they let her do her own stuff, that was some real stuff. That's
that New York female. Do you remember let's see, the movie that she played with Chris Rock when they were talking about the five, what's your top five? And they was at this apartment, her that attitude she had. That's New York. That's that female from New York that's gonna treat you like that. And the same attitude that she had, that whole personality, that's what that is.
Yeah.
She played it to the always getting over there, and the same way she acted and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you see. That's what you get when you see a New Yorker female like that. They get put in a position like, okay, we went from living like this and being that. What she said, yeah, your mom was, yeah. I mean, girls and stuff. Yeah. So
my favorite though is gonna be that hug. Come on.
Yeah.
I know. I slept with your man. That was so good.
Yeah.
So some of the other cameos, I liked Morgan Freeman's part. I liked his part. Okay, so let's talk about the death scene. When the king requested that he have a wake,
right,
while he could still, see, he was gonna die. Mm-hmm. I liked the way they did that. I didn't really like Gladys Knight's part. She was beautiful though.
Exactly.
But I didn't really like that part. But his commentary and his announcing was so hilarious. Even in the bloopers at the end. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah, I seen those, yeah.
But here's the part that got me. So they had the king in a coffin.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was standing up and he's actually looking at the wake, the ceremony, the celebration going on. But then before it's over, he looks at his son. He was like, remember what I told you?
Right.
I'm going to die now. And he died. I was like, that's how they going to, that's the way we doing it?
That's the way, hey, I done fulfilled it. I mean, I got
what I asked for.
I got a chance to enjoy it. So, hey, everything's done. It's over. I'm trying to remember all the people that performed for him. Because I forget that. Because I remember Gladys, but I forgot who was the other ones.
Oh, Salt and Pepper
Yeah.
in Vogue.
So,
Yeah, and you know they changed the lyrics up, of course.
Exactly, but it was just the point, yeah, when he said when a man, yeah, so that was just for that to come out there like that, I was like, okay, this is too cool. So this is what he wanted his break to be before he went out.
Salt and Pepper in Vogue.
When
Rick Ross.
No, I'm talking. What was it? I'm talking about was another group or just them two? Because I know Gladys. She finished, but I thought it was somebody before them.
Gladys, in Vogue, and then Salt and Pepper.
I thought it was somebody that came out before them, before invoking them, or just.
I want to say Gladys was first though,
Was
and after Gladys was them.
Gladys was last. Remember? Because she did that Midnight Train to Whistling. She was the last one that came out.
Oh, that's right. Because he passed away.
He died. Right, yeah. So
I don't.
I thought it was another group. I don't know. I thought it was another people. Another performance before Salt and Pepper.
Well, that would give me a reason to go back and watch.
I'll go back and watch it. So I told y'all to watch it again because things I didn't get to see like I want. Really take in the full movie because I was laughing and enjoying what I could see right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely watch it again and see so I could just take a real notice of it and enjoy it and put it in.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another one. So
let's talk about the CGI. I talked to you about this already.
Yeah, you did.
So when they needed to explain how he had a child,
right,
considering that Lisa was supposed to be his first, and Stimmy had to go and fess up to some things. I like how they intertwined some of the pieces from 1988.
Yeah, yes.
And had to weave in how this happened by using CGI.
Exactly.
Because I know what CGI is, I saw it immediately. But I wasn't bothered by it because I thought, now, if there was nothing else in the movie that got me, that was it. I love the way they did that because I was trying to figure out how they were going to make him have a child. That didn't make any sense to me. But I love the way they did that. But do y'all know that they also CGI'd the scenery?
The which one?
The scenery. So when you have those sky scenes where the camera's panning down onto, the fallaciousness of it all, and all of the acres. A lot of that was CGI too, to bring in the African aspect of it. It also reminded me of Black Panther and Wakanda when the cameras were coming in and you could just see all of the fallaciousness of that country and how Wakanda looked. So when they did that, I didn't think, because when you told me where they filmed that, I was like, they don't have that like that down there. Till I went and I looked and I was like, okay, they used some CGI.
Exactly.
So I get it now, and that was beautiful.
Now, for the people that don't know CGI, because you're using CGI, some people might not know what CGI stands for. Could you please enlighten?
Okay, and I hear how you asking me. We're gonna talk about that later. I know you. So that's when they take computer-generated images. Best way to explain it is like they can take a still picture and have the mouth and the eyes move and have it move by bringing in specific these special effects. Right. And I don't know like how to go deep into explaining.
I just wanted to say
I'm just giving you the simple, but you can always CGI. So in that scene where he's sitting there, he was actually sitting in 1988 there, but they had to bring in some computer effects to make the conversation different, because they're talking about how he got with Leslie Jones in the first place. Exactly. That was so good because sometimes CGI looks kind of fake, and you can tell that they added. That was so good. Even the way they kind of changed the wigs up for some of the tight close-up shots. That's right. That part was good. So Simi got him caught up because Simi was trying to get some, and Simi got him caught up.
just like with the lion. That was CGI part of that with the lion. Some of the scenes with the lion was CGI. So just the images, but like you said, the way they did the 1988 scene in the club, and then they already knew everything was done in the seats over there, when they would sit at the table, and then the way they panned it, that was a cool thing. The way they panned it when he said, like you said, when he put what's her name? Leslie. And the way they kept turning around.
Her name is not Barbara. Is it Mary? It's Mary. It's Mary in the movie. I think it's
okay.
Mary.
And so the way that they panned over when he pointed to him, he said, my friend. And they showed him sitting at the table when he was still over. So that was just cool. I'm saying how they panned it back and forth to put that in there. Yeah. Because other than that, they didn't ever meet nobody. Besides,
Yeah, because they cut in some actual 1988 scenes. You
yeah,
can see them. But
when
then there are moments when they put them in wigs and
yeah,
they set them in that spot and they
right.
recreated this whole scene. So you can, if you look and you can tell, like, don't look that hard, you'll miss the movie. But
Right.
I can just tell. But it was really good though.
Yeah, the way
Like
they
I
put
love
that in
the
there.
way they did that.
Yeah, at the bar and stuff, like, you know, hey, you know, I met them two girls, so yeah, my friend Shy and all that, just and then end up back at the crib, you know.
Yes.
You know, taking what she said, taking it for the team.
Yes, yes. It was
Yeah,
good to see Garcelle Bouvet.
Back doing what she was doing. Exactly.
Yes, it was good to see her.
Paul,
The one, she is your queen.
Paul,
Get
his last name.
going on with this
His name is Paul. I want to say Morton, but I think it might be Paul S. Morton. I think
it was good to have him back. He looked incredible.
He just looked older.
He
You
don't
can
look
just
like
see his
he
age.
aged too much though. Looked like he lost a little weight.
Oh, you can tell his age because if you look back from when he first did it compared to that, you can see.
No, I
the
understand
age.
what you're saying, but to me, he could have aged a lot. It's been 33 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you've been plus size and you lose weight,
Right.
sometimes it's sad. He looked really good. Like, to me, he did not look like he was 33 years later, maybe 15, but he looked really good.
Well, he looked good when he played in what was the movie with Courtney B. Vance and Whitney, the preacher's wife. Remember he played that
From 94?
Was that 94?
That was in the 90s or something.
The preacher's wife, yeah. But I'm saying you can see you can see the age then from when he did from when he did Coming to America. So I can see the little age in that part then.
Yeah.
But yeah, for him to be in that definitely made it. And then Louis Anderson, like that, he looked old.
Who is that?
Louis Anderson, that remember back.
He looks good though.
But
he's the only white person there.
And the thing is,
he looks good though.
By him, and it was crazy because they had to show him as a developer because he was just a cashier back then. Remember, he was on Friday talking about how he was trying to move it so yeah. So he was there talking about developing, an impossible burger.
Oh my God, what's going on?
So yeah.
Am I coming in and out because my phone?
No, the sign popped up.
I see that.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Any last thoughts on the movie? He gonna tell y'all to go watch it, but any last thoughts on the movie?
Just hey, if you enjoyed the first one, do your due diligence and definitely go see the second one. Definitely take a look at it because you're definitely going to enjoy it just from the point that you enjoyed the first one. And so just to see how it changed and just to see the characters that you've seen in the first one and then the new characters that he brought in this one. So yeah, definitely, and especially if you're an Eddie Murphy fan, you're going to want to see it anyway. So keep an open mind, but definitely enjoy it. And he's from New York anyway, so us New Yorkers represent, we go see the people that we grew up watching because they're from home. So yeah.
And just because he loves Eddie Murphy. It was a good, entertaining movie, and it's the type that you can actually sit and watch with your children. I don't think if there were too many parts that you'd have to be mindful of. It was a little bit of language in there, but it is not as raunchy as some of the stuff out here. The scenery is beautiful. Children being able to see us represented like that as queens and kings, like that will never get old to me. I love that. And just to support, I will say, for what they had to do because of COVID, it was beautifully done. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the costumes. Pay attention to the costumes. They are remarkable, but there are some things in there that you'll see if you really pay attention. And then come back and tell us what your thoughts were. For those of you who listen to this, even though they hadn't watched it, like me, I'll listen to reviews. It doesn't spoil it for me because I'm still going to check it out for myself. But so yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to share it, heart. Let us know by commenting below what your feedback is on the issue of the day, what your feedback is on Coming to America, what your feedback is on the show. What would you like to see? What would you like for us to talk about? What issues would you like to present and to bring? And also, have you liked us on Facebook yet? Mm-hmm. Tell us where they can find us on Facebook, sir.
You can go to their POV with Nikki King on Facebook. I mean,
My God.
and and YouTube. We on YouTube also, and same title, their POV. See, there we go right there. So it's all those connected us, Nick and King at Gmail, at POV with Nick and King, YouTube, their POV, SoundCloud. So yeah, we on all those platforms, y'all. So definitely check us out. Let us know how what you think about the show. Like she said, if you have any thoughts for any type of topics or how what things we can talk about on our show, definitely let us know. We're open. Yeah, we're definitely open.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And was it worth it? Was it worth it to see Coming to America? I will say yes.
Yes,
King
indeed.
says yes.
Thumbs up. Both thumbs up. If I had any more thumbs, I use those too.
Well,
Yes.
King, I'm going to go ahead and give you your last thoughts on today before we close out.
Thank you, Madame. Y'all, like with the first thing we talked about today about the man coming over, the baby father coming over to the house, going upstairs to see the kids. Hey, my thing is nipping in the bud, had that talk with your wife, had that talk with your husband, and get them ground rules or get that understanding so y'all be able to, co-parent and be able to enjoy each other, with visits and stuff like that. Because there's no use of getting the kids involved where it's a whole bunch of negativity because somebody don't know how to act, somebody don't want to abide by the rules of somebody else's house. So that's my thoughts on that. And then again with the movie, hey, need I say more? Thumbs up, Eddie and the whole crew. I loved it. I guess I'm gonna watch it again. He did a great job. I hated we had to wait 33 years to see it, but hey, I'm glad I was alive to see it. So yeah. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna turn to my girl Nick, give her last thoughts, and we're gonna shut it down and shut it out.
All righty. So we're going to start ending the show with a word for the week. Really, really brief. And this week, I want you guys to work on the word and meditate on the word respect. And my family and I were talking about this on Thursday. When you think about the word respect, think about the word value. You learn to respect people when you learn to value them.
Exactly.
You learn to see them the way God sees them when you learn to value them. Regardless of what you think of them, they are valuable because they are God's. God created them. They are alive. They are people. They are people with feelings. When we learn to respect people because we value them, I think we will all be much better people. A whole lot of drama can be cut out. And in the situation that we brought to you today, value the children, value what you could be potentially doing to them by some of the unnecessary drama and contention that takes place in our homes. So that would be the word for this week, would be respect and value. And so on that note, Queens and Kings, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us for their POV with Nick and King. And as always, we will see you here next week. And you guys just keep on reigning.
Yeah.
Love y'all. See y'all next week.